The fifth dimension is not something that can be seen with the eyes or touched with the hands. It is a state of consciousness that transcends what we are accustomed to perceiving. While we live in a world dominated by the third dimension with its rules of linear time, physical space, and rigid causality, the fifth dimension operates in a completely different space. Here, reality is not limited by fear, separation, or the need for control. It is shaped by love, abundance, and the simultaneity of possibilities. To understand the fifth dimension, we must start by comparing it to the third dimension, where most of us still live. The 3D is like a river, where it seems like we need to constantly paddle against the current to achieve our goals. It is a place where struggles and challenges feel endless, where we believe that constant effort is the only way to progress. In the fifth dimension, however, the experience is different. There is no need to fight against the current because there is no current. It is like being in a vast ocean where you naturally flow with the tides, guided by a greater force that always takes you in the right direction. This elevated vibrational state is defined by unconditional love. In 3D, our experiences are often guided by fear. Fear of losing, fear of failing, fear of not being enough. In the fifth dimension, love is the dominant force. There is no room for scarcity because everything you need is already available. You realize that you are not separate from the universe, but an extension of it, capable of co-creating your reality with intention and clarity. What truly differentiates the fifth dimension is how it transcends time and space. While in the third dimension we are bound to linearity, the past, the present, and the future as distinct points, in 5D everything happens simultaneously. You don't wait for something to happen. You simply vibrate at the frequency of what you desire and allow it to manifest at the perfect moment. It is a state of trust, where the universal flow is your only compass. Therefore, living in the fifth dimension is not just about seeing the world in a new way, it is about being in a new way. It is an internal shift that transforms how you experience reality. You move from fear to trust, from doubt to certainty, from resistance to flow. The obstacles of the third dimension often go unnoticed because we are so accustomed to them that we consider them normal. It's like living in a room full of smoke for so long that you forget what it's like to breathe fresh air. The 3D is full of patterns that keep us stuck. Fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, and the constant need for control. Identifying these blockages is the first step toward transcending them. One of the greatest hindrances in 3D is attachment to the physical reality. We live in a world where what we can see, touch, and measure is considered the only truth. This makes us believe that what we have is limited and that we must constantly fight to ensure our survival. Fear becomes the predominant emotion. We fear losing what we have, fear that there won't be enough, fear of not being accepted or of failing. But the truth is that this struggle is an illusion. Abundance is available, but it can only be accessed when we let go of the idea that the world is a place of scarcity. Another obstacle is doubt. Doubt is the shadow that appears whenever we approach something greater than we are used to. It whispers, "What if this doesn't work?" Or "What if you can't do it?" These doubts are like invisible chains that keep us anchored in 3D, preventing us from taking the leap into the trust and love that exist in the fifth dimension. Recognizing that these doubts are just echoes of old limiting beliefs helps us disarm them. Limiting beliefs, in turn, are like programs installed in our minds that operate automatically. How many times have you heard or said to yourself things like, "I'll never be able to do this," "This is impossible," or "Things are hard for me"? These phrases, often learned in childhood or reinforced by society, create invisible barriers that shape our perception of reality. Each one acts like a wall that blocks the light of the fifth dimension. Reflect for a moment. Are we so used to struggle that we forget what it's like to simply exist in harmony? When was the last time you felt like you were flowing with life instead of resisting it? These moments of flow are glimpses of what is possible when we overcome the obstacles of 3D. But overcoming these obstacles begins with awareness. Recognizing that you are stuck in patterns of fear, doubt, or limitation is not weakness. It is the first step toward freedom. It is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see what was hidden and begin to reorganize the space. Quantum physics offers us a fascinating and deeply connected view of the idea of the fifth dimension. It challenges the traditional notions of time, space, and causality that govern the third dimension, showing us that reality is much more fluid, interconnected, and shaped by consciousness than we ever imagined. It's as if science is beginning to decipher what spiritual traditions have been teaching for millennia, that the universe is energy, and we are co-creators of that energy. At the quantum level, everything is made of vibration. The most fundamental particles are not solid objects, but patterns of energy that vibrate at different frequencies. This is a powerful idea because it means that the reality we experience is not fixed. It is malleable, a reflection of the frequencies we choose to vibrate at. In the third dimension, we often believe that the external world defines how we feel. But at the quantum level, the opposite is true. Our internal state shapes the external world. One of the most intriguing discoveries in quantum physics is the role of the observer. In experiments like the double-slit experiment, it has been shown that the simple act of observing alters the behavior of quantum particles. This means that our attention, where we place our focus, has a direct impact on reality. If we think of the fifth dimension, where consciousness is the dominant creative force, this makes perfect sense. In 5D, what you observe, intend, and feel is what you manifest. Imagine the universe as an infinite quantum field, full of possibilities waiting to manifest. In the third dimension, we tend to fixate on a single possibility, often the most limited, because it seems realistic or possible. But in the fifth dimension, all possibilities coexist. What determines which one you experience? Your vibration, your intention, and the focus of your consciousness. For example, if you deeply believe that life is difficult, that success is rare, or that true love does not exist, these beliefs act as filters, allowing you to perceive only the realities that confirm these ideas. However, if you start to shift your vibration, aligning with frequencies of love, abundance, and trust, the quantum field responds. New possibilities begin to emerge because you are tuning into a new frequency. But there's a crucial point: this doesn't happen by chance. In quantum physics, clear intention and consistent attention are fundamental. To align with the fifth dimension, you must cultivate an internal state that resonates with what you wish to manifest. This means your thoughts, emotions, and actions must be aligned. You cannot desire abundance while vibrating at the frequency of fear or scarcity. The quantum field responds to the coherence between what you think, feel, and believe. This understanding changes everything. You realize that you are not a victim of circumstances, but an active creator of your reality. Quantum physics shows us that reality is not a fixed and predetermined system. It is dynamic, interactive, and responds to your consciousness. Ask yourself, where am I placing my attention? Are my intentions aligned with what I truly want to manifest? These questions are not just reflections. They are invitations to begin living with more intention and presence. Aligning with the fifth dimension is like tuning into a radio frequency. If you're trying to pick up the vibration of love, abundance, and trust, but you're stuck in thoughts of fear, doubt, or control, the right station will remain out of reach. Reaching this frequency is not a mystical or unattainable process. It is a daily practice that involves presence, intention, and above all, trust in the flow of the universe. The first step toward this alignment is cultivating the practice of presence. Living in the present moment is one of the quickest ways to raise your vibration and connect with your higher self. When you are stuck in the past or anxious about the future, your energy fragments. Presence brings that energy together, anchoring you in the now, where your consciousness has the greatest power of manifestation. Try a simple exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and focus on your breath. Observe each inhale and exhale, feeling the air enter and leave your body. This small act of total focus on the now directly connects you to your essence and helps raise your frequency. Another essential element for aligning with the fifth dimension is emotional visualization. The key here is not just imagining what you desire, but feeling it as if it were already real. Think about it. The universe does not respond to isolated words or images. It responds to the vibration these intentions generate. When you feel gratitude, joy, and love for something you desire, you are sending a clear message to the quantum field that this reality already exists. For example, if you desire more abundance, don't focus on what is missing. Instead, visualize a life where you already have everything you need and feel the deep emotion of gratitude and fulfillment that it would bring. However, true alignment is only achieved when you combine these states of presence and visualization with the practice of detachment. Letting go of the need to control the outcomes is what unlocks the natural flow of the universe. Imagine that you plant a seed in fertile soil. You don't dig up the soil every day to check if the seed is growing. You trust that, with water, light, and time, it will blossom. Manifestation in the fifth dimension works the same way. When you let go of the anxiety about how and when something will happen, you allow the universe to operate in its perfect timing. Practicing detachment does not mean that you don't care or that you don't act toward your goals. It means that you do your part and then trust that the rest is being taken care of. This trust is a state of elevated vibration that magnetizes your intentions toward you. It's telling the universe, I trust that everything is working in my favor, even if I don't see the results immediately. Ask yourself, how can I bring more presence to my day? Which intentions can I reinforce with true emotion? And where can I let go of control to allow the flow of the universe to surprise me? These simple but powerful practices bring you closer and closer to alignment with the fifth dimension. Living fully in the fifth dimension is stepping into a state of continuous flow, where you feel aligned with the universe and your own essence. In this state, there is no resistance, just a deep sense of trust that everything is happening exactly as it should. It doesn't mean that life will be free of challenges, but that you will learn to navigate them with grace and clarity, without being dragged by the dense vibration of the third dimension. Imagine being in a river, but this time you are not fighting the current. Instead, you are allowing the force of the water to guide you, knowing that it will take you to the right destination. This is living in the fifth dimension, being in the quantum flow where every event, every connection, every experience seems to perfectly align with your highest intentions. It is not a state of inaction but a state of inspired action. You act, but not from fear or the need to control. You act from a place of certainty, knowing you are in harmony with the universe. Remaining in this state requires consistency. The elevated vibration of the fifth dimension is not something you achieve once and automatically maintain. It is a state that needs to be nurtured and cultivated. Practices like daily gratitude are key tools for this. When you recognize the blessings that already exist in your life, your vibration naturally rises, attracting even more reasons to be grateful. Gratitude is like a magnet for abundance, a simple yet incredibly powerful practice to anchor you in 5D. Meditation also plays an essential role. It not only calms your mind but creates an internal space where you can reconnect with your essence and hear the messages from your higher self. A consistent practice, even if brief, can help you maintain your elevated vibration and centered energy, even amidst challenges. Speaking of challenges, they will still arise even when you're living in the fifth dimension. The difference is how you face them. In 3D, challenges often lead us to fear, doubt, or resistance. But in 5D, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth, as reminders that there is something in your vibration or beliefs that needs adjustment. Each challenge becomes a teacher, helping you refine your energy and strengthen your connection to the universal flow. When you notice you're being pulled back into 3D patterns, perhaps through thoughts of scarcity, anger, or frustration, the key is not to judge yourself. These moments are natural and part of the journey. The important thing is how you choose to respond. Stop, breathe, and ask yourself, what can I do now to realign myself? What lesson is this moment trying to teach me? This simple act of awareness may be enough to bring you back to the state of elevated vibration. Living in the fifth dimension is, ultimately, a commitment to yourself. It is a commitment to prioritize your inner peace, your authenticity, and your connection to something greater. It's not about perfection but about presence. It's about remembering that you always have the power to choose how to respond to every situation, and that choice determines the vibration you carry. Ask yourself, am I living in the flow of love and trust or clinging to old patterns of resistance? This question, asked sincerely, can be a powerful starting point for staying aligned with the fifth dimension. Internal transformation is the foundation for sustaining your life in the fifth dimension. Without genuine change within yourself, it's difficult to maintain elevated vibration and alignment with the universal flow. This transformation starts with releasing fear and doubt, which are the most persistent shadows of the third dimension. To transcend these patterns, it's necessary not only to recognize them but also to understand the purpose they served and then consciously choose to leave them behind. Fear, at its core, is just a projection of the unknown. It arises when we encounter something we don't understand or when our ego feels it is losing control. But fear is like a shadow in a dark room. It seems huge and frightening until you turn on the light. When you look at fear with clarity, it dissolves. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Is this threat real, or is it just a reflection of something inside me that I haven't understood yet? Releasing fear requires courage, but also compassion. Don't judge yourself for feeling fear. We all feel it at times. Transformation happens when you decide that fear will no longer guide your decisions. Remember that, in the fifth dimension, you are tuning into a frequency of love and trust. Fear simply cannot coexist at this higher vibration. Each time you choose love over fear, you strengthen your connection with your higher self and with the universal flow. Doubt is the constant companion of fear. It whispers, "What if this doesn't work? What if you're not capable?" These questions, though they seem natural, are just reflections of limiting beliefs that have been installed over time. Doubt is like a brake that you keep pressing while trying to move forward. To release it, you must cultivate trust, not only in yourself but also in the universe. Trust that everything is working in your favor, even if the path is not yet clear. Trust is a daily choice, an act of faith that strengthens your vibration. Another key to internal transformation is conscious choice. You must decide every day to vibrate in love, abundance, and peace. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect, but choosing how to respond to them. Instead of reacting impulsively, ask yourself, does this choice reflect my higher self? Does it elevate my vibration or keep me stuck in the density of 3D? This practice of self-awareness turns every moment into an opportunity for growth. Reflecting on your patterns and beliefs is also essential. What stories are you telling yourself that are still keeping you stuck? Perhaps you believe you're unworthy of love, or that life should be a constant struggle. These narratives are like chains that bind you, but you have the power to rewrite them. Replace them with affirmations aligned with the truth of who you really are, a vibrant, creative, and limitless being. Internal transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's an ongoing process of choice, practice, and adjustment. But with each step, you get closer to the vibration of the fifth dimension, where life is lived with lightness, purpose, and deep connection. Ask yourself, what is still holding me back? What am I ready to release in order to live fully in the frequency of love and trust? This introspection is the starting point for significant change. The higher self is the divine essence within you, the wisest, most loving, and enlightened part of who you are. It is not separate. It is you in your purest form, without the limitations imposed by the mind or the patterns of the third dimension. When you connect with your higher self, you are accessing an infinite source of guidance, inspiration, and peace. It's like tuning into a clear frequency amidst the noise of the world. This connection doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention and practice. Often, the higher self is overshadowed by the voices of fear, doubt, and the ego. These voices shout, trying to protect you from the unknown, while the higher self speaks in soft and steady tones, calling you to trust, let go, and expand. To hear this voice, you must cultivate inner silence and create space for it to manifest. Think of the higher self as an inner teacher. It doesn't offer ready-made answers or immediate solutions. Instead, it guides you to find your own truths. It teaches through intuition and feeling, using synchronicities, inspirations, and even challenges as learning tools. When you begin to listen and trust this wisdom, you discover that many of the answers you seek externally are already inside you. A practical way to strengthen this connection is by reserving daily moments of introspection. It could be through meditation, prayer, or writing. Ask your higher self, what do I need to know today? What direction should I take? And then listen, not with the analytical mind but with your heart. Often, the answers don't come in words but in feelings, images, or a sudden sense of clarity. Connecting with your higher self also requires trusting your intuition. How many times have you felt a gut feeling about something and ignored it, only to realize later that you should have trusted that initial impulse? The higher self communicates through these subtle signs. It never forces you but always gently guides you in the direction that best serves your growth. Living aligned with your higher self is like living the journey of a master. It's understanding that peace doesn't come from the absence of challenges, but from the ability to find balance and clarity, even in the midst of them. It's a state where you are no longer reactive to external circumstances because you know you have everything within you to deal with any situation. This connection also helps you see others and the world with more compassion. When you live from your higher self, you realize that everyone is on their own journey, learning and growing in their own way. This dissolves judgment and promotes a sense of unity because you recognize that we all share the same divine essence. Ask yourself, am I listening to the voice of my higher self or am I being guided by external noise? How can I create more space for this connection in my daily life? Remember, your higher self is always available, patiently waiting for you to turn to it. The fifth dimension is not a distant destination or a place you need to reach. It is a state of being, a frequency you can access here and now at any moment. It is a way of living in which you are deeply connected to the present, aligned with your essence and in harmony with the universe. This integration happens when you choose, day after day, to vibrate in love, abundance, and trust, instead of fear, doubt, and resistance. Each step you take toward the fifth dimension is an act of self-transformation. By letting go of the weights of the third dimension, fear, attachment, and limiting beliefs, you create space for your energy to flow more freely and expansively. This process of release is like discarding a suitcase full of unnecessary objects. By getting rid of what no longer serves, you feel freer, lighter, more aligned. Living in the fifth dimension means realizing that the external reality is a reflection of your internal state. When you are in alignment, the world responds. Synchronicities start to become commonplace. People, opportunities, and experiences appear exactly when you need them, as if an invisible thread is weaving everything perfectly. But this is not magic or luck. It is the direct result of your elevated vibration. Integrating this state into your daily life requires consistent practices and, most importantly, presence. Every moment is an opportunity to choose. You can react from old 3D patterns, or you can respond from the clarity and trust of 5D. Even challenging situations become portals for growth if you face them with this elevated perspective. You can start right now. Think of an aspect of your life that seems dense, difficult, or blocked. Ask yourself, how can I bring higher energy to this situation? What can I release to allow the flow of the universe to work here? These questions are not just reflections. They are invitations to access the fifth dimension in real time. It is also essential to remember that this journey is not about perfection, but progress. There will be days when you feel disconnected, pulled back into 3D patterns. And that's okay. The most important thing is your willingness to return to center, recalibrate your vibration, and continue. Every small effort, every conscious choice, contributes to your evolution. When you live in this frequency, your energy not only transforms your own life but also impacts the world around you. You become a point of light, a living inspiration for others who are also seeking something greater. Your elevated vibration creates waves that spread, touching everything and everyone around you. Remember, the fifth dimension is not something external that you seek. It is something internal that you access. It is a state of love, peace, and trust that already exists within you. Your journey to this point is a testament to your willingness to evolve, to reconnect with your essence, and to live a life of alignment and purpose. Now, I invite you to apply everything we've explored. Let go of what no longer serves. Elevate your vibration. Trust the flow. Live with intention. Life in the fifth dimension is yours to live here and now. If this message has touched your heart, like this video so it reaches more people. Subscribe to the channel to continue your spiritual journey with us. Share your reflections in the comments and spread this message to someone who needs to hear it today. Your light is important. Together, we are creating a higher world, more conscious and full of infinite possibilities. The best is yet to come.